Want to see more cool videos on our channel? We do, so press this bell and enable to send notifications.
Number 7. Barbro Karlen. When she was a girl, Barbro said that in her past life, she was Anne Frank, the famous girl who wrote the diary about life hiding from the Nazis. Barbro told her parents that she was Anne. She told them they weren't even her real parents, and she insisted that her real parents were coming to get her. Barbro was Swedish, and at this point in time, the diary of Anne Frank hadn't even been translated into Swedish. At age 10, her parents took her to Amsterdam. They got into a taxi, but Barbro said, "We don't need a cab. I know exactly where we are." She then took them all the way to the house and right up to Anne Frank's hiding spot. From that day on, her parents were convinced that their daughter was Anne Frank reincarnated. Number 6. James Leininger. James was born in 1998, and when he was 2 years old, he pointed to a picture of Iwo Jima in the Pacific and told his parents that's where his plane was shot down. His shocked parents researched this and found that only one plane was ever shot down there, and it was the plane of American pilot Lieutenant James Huston Jr., who was killed by the Japanese in 1945 at the end of World War II. James remembered being Lieutenant James. He correctly shared that his ship was the Natoma, and he would have thrashing nightmares when he would sleep, where he would say things like, "Airplane crash," "On fire," "Little man can't get out." The parents met with Lieutenant James's crew, who were now old men, and they confirmed that every detail James talked about was 100% accurate. Number 5. Finding the grave. The boy in this story was just 3 years old, so his name has been protected. In 2009, a doctor investigated his claim that he remembered his past life and that he was killed by an axe blow to the head, exactly where his red birthmark was. The boy took the doctor to a village and walked up to a guy there saying, "I used to be your neighbor. We had a fight and you killed me with an axe." The man's face went white. The boy said, "I know where he buried my body." He took them to a pile of stones, and underneath was the skeleton of a man wearing farmer's clothes. The skull had a clean axe wound split right on top of it. That is creepy. Number 4. Cameron McCauley. When he was 2 years old, this boy from Glasgow started talking about life on Barra, a remote island off the coast of Scotland, which Cameron had never been before. For 3 years, all he seemed to talk about was his Barra home, his friends, and his family there. He said that his dad was called Shane Robertson. He was killed by a car, and he missed his mom so badly, he was in genuine distress. His parents finally decided to take him to Barra. A documentary crew joined them. They were amazed by how many things Cameron got right. It was the tiny details, everything from his dog's breed, the color of his house, even the view from the window. If you are interested to hear more on this, a full documentary is actually on YouTube. Number 3. The Pollack twins. These twins from Hexham, England, were said to be the reincarnation of their own dead sisters. Their sisters had been killed a year before they were born in a car accident, Jacqueline and Joanna, ages 6 and 11. Then, the twins came along, Jillian and Jennifer Pollack. Their father noticed that Jennifer had a white line across her head, similar to Jacqueline's scar from a bike accident. She also had an identical birthmark on her leg. The family moved away from the town and didn't return for 4 years. When they did, the twins started to point out landmarks they had never even been to before. They swore that the school Jacqueline and Jillian, he means Johanna, had attended was actually their school. The parents had showed them the girls' old toys, and they named every single one correctly. They even had a fear of cars. The memories vanished around the age of 5, and the twins never remembered anything again. Number 2. Hunter. This was the name given to a 3-year-old boy who claimed he was the reincarnation of legendary golfer Bobby Jones. He pointed at him in a picture and said, "That's me," and then did the same thing with a photo of Bobby Jones's childhood home and said it was his own home. The details that Hunter remembered might have been just a coincidence, but there was one other thing. Hunter was insanely good at golf. By the age of 7, he had won 41 out of 50 junior tournaments, including 21 in a row. Now, is it a coincidence that a golfing child prodigy claims they were the reincarnation of an actual legendary golfer? I don't know. What do you guys think? Number 1. Shinae Wong. This 3-year-old boy from Thailand said that in his past life, he was a teacher called Pollack. He said that on his way to school one day, he was shot in the head. He told his grandmother all about his previous parents, his wife, and even his children, and he begged her to let him visit. The 3-year-old took them all the way to Pollack's house. There, he met Bois's parents, who said that he had been murdered 5 years before Shinae was born. The really creepy thing here is that Shinae had 2 birthmarks, one on the back of his head and one above his left eye. These were the exact spots where the bullet entered and exited Pollack's head. Well guys, everyone has their theories on what happens after death. A lot of people believe we get reincarnated, like these stories. Are you one of those people? Have these stories perhaps changed your mind? Let me know your thoughts and what video you might want to see next on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. Do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up with my next video.